How to generate income. Say if you have a business, just hypothetically you're doing really, really well, but like how long can you sustain that period of your life? Like how long can you push yourself to 100% in the business? But you can literally get into property with as little as complete career life change. Introduce yourself. Hello, I'm Emma.
Dubai-based entrepreneur and property specialist making waves in real estate.
What made you go to Dubai?
Your environment affects you a lot, and leaving your hometown really opens up your mind. And I hate saying this, but like over in Dubai, people are more eager to help you.
Yeah, there has been times where like I'll text someone to meet someone for a coffee just to get a bit of advice. We just don't get a reply at all. If someone was to say they want to contact you and they're like, I want to invest in property in Dubai.
I focus on pre-construction and off-plan. So this basically means you buy properties as they're being built, property directly from the developer. And then down payments vary, but say 50-50 would mean that you pay 50% off the property over the course of construction. The developer has a 0% interest-free payment plan that spreads across the period of construction. Then 50% when the property hands over, which you can fully mortgage. So 50% spread over 3 years. When you reverse engineer the payment plan backwards, it works out, I'd say, roughly around 3,000-4,000 euro a month.
If they're paying a mortgage on a house here, it's probably only $1,500.
We're paying that over the course of say 35 years, whereas this is 2-3 years. When the property hands over, most people, they will actually take a mortgage out so they can leverage their cash against the mortgage. They'll get a tenant into the property.
And they don't pay anything then to the other 50%.
Exactly. The tenant will then pay off the mortgage over 5 or 10 year period. Also, you're going to be in a cash surplus, so you'll still make a little bit of money off it as well.
When if someone is investing in an apartment in a different country, they don't know anything, it's scary.
Yeah.
How do you know? I know for 100% my money is safe with them.
This is huge about Dubai.
Before we start this episode, I would like to thank each and every one of you for listening to these episodes. If you could take a couple of more seconds out your time, share, like, subscribe, follow on whatever platform you're listening on. It would honestly mean so much to us and would help us grow the podcast. Now let's get straight to the episode.
Guess who's back? Back again.
Thanks for coming on, Emma.
Oh, you were recording that.
Oh, did you know? But yeah, thanks for coming on.
Thanks so much for having me back.
So I haven't seen you in over a year, probably now.
I think it was this time last year we done a podcast episode, yeah.
Yeah. So complete career life change.
360.
Yeah, you're like in a completely different industry now.
Yeah.
So what was that like changing over? So for anyone who's probably never heard of you or doesn't know who you are, so introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Emma.
And so going back to obviously, so what did you do before and then what are you doing now?
Okay, so previously I had a online coaching business for a couple of years. Built the business up, loved it, absolutely loved it. It was called Embody. And then recently this year I took a whole career change and I transitioned into real estate in Dubai.
So it was, I think you said online coaching, so it was a fitness online coaching.
Yeah, online fitness, online fitness coaching.
So you're in real estate now, that's literally completely different.
You know what, it's different, but it's also like there's so many, there's not really many transferable skills from the fitness side, but from the routine side, there's lots of transferable skills. And then also from the building the business side, there's so many transferable skills. So it's like I feel like I'm doing the same thing, but just in a different industry.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. Yeah,
it's really interesting.
Yeah, and I feel like because you were obviously already in fitness, like that plays such a big part in your mental health, no matter what business you're in.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
even it's crazy, like just in terms of you like asking me navigating the change and stuff. I feel like since I've done it, like I've had a lot of people like even like from back home, like Ireland and just in random, like even the UK and stuff, reach out to me that have been like in a particular field for like, especially entrepreneurs in a particular field for like a period of time. And it's like, I feel like people don't really realize like it's okay to like outgrow a space. Like it's okay to outgrow like a chapter of your life or a space. And it's like when you're an entrepreneur, like you're usually very passionate and you have a lot of creativity and stuff. And it's like that it is normal for you to be passionate about something for a certain period of your life, and then for you to just be like, oh, like, you know, it doesn't necessarily feel the same anymore. And
it's just not
really,
working. I feel like the world is changing and evolving, and certain things are just not, say what you're not your career, for example, but like say certain things are just not working like it did a while back. For example.
Exactly.
Not to say that the fitness or anything like that wasn't.
No, online fitness coaching is huge still. People are smashing it, like, just.
I'm finding it the same now with me beauty business. Like, there's something that I actually keep saying. I keep saying on my stories I'm going to come on and announce it. There's another change happening. I feel like it's happening so much. I see that. I'm
excited. I keep hounding you, being like, what are you talking about?
I actually didn't even tell you before we even started recording, but I'll tell you after.
But this is the thing. That's so amazing, though. You know what I mean? It's like,
but you feel like it's mad. Like, I'm like nervous and then I'm excited. Where I'm just kind of, I'm like, you have this thing of, you think like people are going to think, oh, you're failing, that's why you dropped it. You have that thing there.
Oh, that is so crazy how you said that, because like,
it didn't work out for her, that's why she's dropping that.
100, like, literally. It's like that's exactly what this whole year I felt like people thought I failed, but it's like, Embody was like a 6-figure business, like turning that very easily, like consistently, and it would have just grown. Exactly. I had 2 options, was to like go all in and grow the business, like to go grow it, like, or recognize that like, okay, this chapter has actually closed for me. And that was the hardest point in my life, because I was like, I either had to, not many people would walk away from like a 6-figure business, because it's easy, like you have the money coming in, you have the financial security, like it's fine.
And you've worked so hard as well on something for so long, and you're just, it's that fear of, oh my God, what if I make the wrong decision? Of like, I'd say that was, because you're literally like, I'm making a slight, compared to what, obviously yours is a complete different career change, but for me it's like little smaller in the same business. And then, and even that is scary for me. Where you're like literally just been like, right, okay, I'm going to close this business and just take on a whole new, I couldn't even imagine what you were thinking at the time. I think it's like self-confidence, and it's like, if like, I think I got that from like my fitness journey, and then building my body is like, I have confidence that I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do. And like, I've built confidence that like, I can be disciplined, I can build a business. And as well, like, I think I thought for a very, very long time that I was just passionate about fitness, but like, I'm not just passionate about fitness. I'm really passionate about like building a business. I'm really passionate about like becoming the best version of myself. And like, that for me is like a self-responsibility, where it's like, right, what else can I do in this life? Do you know what I mean? It's not just tie myself to like one identity of like just being a PT. I want to see like what else I can do, and like what else I can build, what else I can grow. And like, I think people are just so afraid of like, say what you were saying, or other people's opinions of like, oh, like, what is she doing? Like, why is she doing this? And it's like, if you let other people's opinions stop you from taking the next, you know, step in your own journey, then you're going to be the one that's going to be held back for, you know? So, exactly. Well, literally what we were just talking about before we went to the podcast. Crazy. What I was saying to you. Exactly. But no, exactly. Like, it shouldn't really matter what other people think. They're going to be thinking things about it anyways, either if it's good or bad. This is the thing. It's like, if you build a business, if you work in a random job, if you do whatever, like, people are just like, unfortunately, they're going to say, like, people are going to like have their own perception of you anyway. And it's like, I think it's just important for you to stay true to your values. Like, I felt the longer I was doing Embody, the more I was felt unaligned to like who I am as a person, which is so strange, because Embody was like pure like alignment at the start. Do you know what I mean? And I just had like, I had outgrown that space, because I just had reached this like level of growth where I just was like knocking on the door, and I just couldn't get past that next little bit. And it was like freaking me out, and I like just didn't know what to do. And it's so mental. You probably fell out of love with it as well, because you knew when you actually didn't want to be doing that anymore. Well, I don't know if I fell out of love with it as such. It's just like,
it was a very special like chapter of my life, and I went on to build Embody, and that was like, those are years of my life that I'll never ever forget, you know what I mean? Like, so grateful for all the people that I've met, and like what I got to experience as like everything I experienced it with Embody, like so grateful like for everything that came from it. But it's just like, I actually had this conversation, you'll probably relate to this, but I had this conversation with like my uncle one day, and I was like to him, I was like, I'm on these two like cross paths. I'm like, I have this business and it's doing really well, and I love everyone involved in it, and I just love it so much. And I was like, but at the same time, I was like, I can't see the next, say, 2-3 years ahead. Whereas usually I'm a very visual person, and I visualize what I want to achieve, and then I'll just set it and I'll just go and do it. And I was like, I can't see the next like chapter of what I want to do. Like, there was no more photo shoots I wanted to do. There's no more events I wanted to host. Like, it's like I had kind of done everything. And then he had said to me, and I'll literally never forget this, because this was the exact moment I was like, oh my God, thank you for telling me that. But he was like, obviously he knows me since I've been like 16. So he was like, you had all these like goals and dreams and visions that you wanted to do. And he was like, the only thing that's after happening here is you've achieved your goals and your dreams and your visions for this chapter of your life. And he was like, so you need to move on to your next chapter now. And it was like, I was like, that's just simple an analogy, but that's exactly what happened.
And when you completely switched, like, did you know, I'm going to close this and I'm going to go into real estate? Or did you like just did you close the business, and then you were like, right, okay, what am I going to do next?
So I had actually known for a while that I was like, I was like making my exit strategy, if that makes sense. I was like, because I didn't want it to be so abrupt and be like, right, shutting, see us all later. Like, that's not what I wanted. I wanted it to be like gradual, like, and even for myself, just to not go from one extreme to the next. So I was like studying real estate like a crazy person for the last, like, say about 18 months, like just like YouTube videos, reading loads of books, podcasts, like everything, just eat, sleep and breathing it in my spare time, before I like went and kind of stepped into it, basically. Yeah.
And what was everyone's reaction then to you? Just,
do you know
your
what?
family and your friends? And I seen you had an event as well. Yeah,
I had like a Embody gala. We had like an award ceremony with like little trophies, and just like still, some were funny and some were real serious. Some would be like the biggest transformation, and then like some of them would have been just like, you know, like biggest mess, or someone who doesn't go to the gym or something like stupid. But we done an event, and none of the girls knew before the event. And I just like had a speech written out and had just expressed to them that. Oh,
so did you just announce it there and then?
I announced at the event, yeah.
And they didn't even know what they
didn't know. They just thought the event was like that we were all going to come together and do like an event. It was like a summertime type of thing. But yeah, and then it was so emotional. Like, oh my God, I bawled my eyes. I couldn't even get the words out like on the paper. I bawled my eyes out the whole time. But like that, you know, it's closing one chapter and opening another. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and then my friends and family all thought I was absolutely mental. Like, they all thought I was absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Like, they were like, what is she doing? Like, they probably still do. But like,
yeah, well, come here. It's working out.
Yeah, happy out, yeah.
And you're like, how old are you again?
I turned 25 last week.
Yeah, so like, you're not, it's not like you're in your, I don't know, I'm not even going to say an age.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you're really, really, really old and you can't.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. We're still at that age that like we could, like, I think at any age you can still take risks, but I think like. Yeah,
that's why I was going to say I'm not saying an age.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think like, do you know what it was as well? I was like, there's like our lifespans, like say like 100, let's say, I don't know, 90 odd years we'll probably live till maybe 100, I don't know. But like, if you think of it, we're like, not even a quarter way through our lifespan, and it's like if there's even as anyone like listening that is out there, like, and they're doing something and they're in their 20s or mid 20s or whatever, and they're doing something, it's like you're not even a quarter way through your life. It's like like, why would you hold back on making a change when you have so much time to make a change and actually like excel at it and learn and grow and like be able to like really flourish? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
People are just so afraid to make, I think change is just a huge thing for people, isn't it?
Yeah, and I feel like, see, I had that, I think probably only like about a month ago. I'd be thinking, well, not as much now, but like that I'm real old and I can't, like, how do I put it into words? As in like, when I get to like, say a certain age, like that this is where I need to be settling down and not working as much. I need to graft as much as I can now. So I can't take, like, this is the way my brain works sometimes. So they'd be thinking, which it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
Because exactly, like there is people that started businesses like in their 60s, 70s and done really, really well.
Yeah. Do you ever see like them like motivational quotes and it's like McDonald's started McDonald's and he was like 52 or something? You're like, oh, grand.
Yeah, all the time.
Like I lost time. I actually seen it. I was reading a book and there was just about age and there's a guy and he was like, it was really deep. It was like, my dad never celebrated my birthdays. Like he never said happy birthday to me on my birthday and never gave me cake or sweets from like a really young age. The guy was like whatever age, and then one day he got to like about 10 or 11 and he just turned around to his dad, and the relationship with his dad wasn't bad. Like the dad loved him and they had a good relationship. It was his birthday one day and he went up to his dad and he was like why did you never get me cake on my birthday, or why did you never celebrate my birthday? And he was like because he said, I hope you never take it personally, but I don't ever want you to be limited by your age, like by like the time that you start things or the time that you like want to stop things or like want to like make a change. He was like, so many people are defined by their age, like with the life decisions and life choices that they make. And I was like, oh my God, like that's mental. And he was like, although I would have loved a bit of cake on my birthday, that lesson stuck with me. And like he's gone on to do like podcasts, build businesses. Like, do you know Lewis Hell's The Greatness?
Oh yeah,
him.
That was him.
It was him, yeah. And I was like, that's crazy, isn't it? But it's such a the way you perceive your age is huge to like the decisions that you make, because you're always like, oh, do I have time, or like I'm too old for this, or I'm too young for this. Like even in a way, like I'm like locally, like am I like too young to be building another business in such a like wide kind of like complex? And I'm like, no, I know my work ethic, I know what I'll do to achieve that, and I'm not going to let my age define me. Do you know what I mean?
Or a lot of people think certain industries are saturated because they have social media. There's probably not actually that many people in a certain industry, but it's because you're seeing everyone online, and if you're taking an interest in a specific thing, that's all that's going to come up for you. And anyway, so you're going to think there's more people than there actually is.
Yeah.
So I feel like that can,
like wanting to set up a business and then they see like say like lashes or whatever, and they see like loads of lashes, and they're like, oh, I can't do this because there's too many people.
So many,
100%.
Like, I feel like that's or I feel like I'm not good enough as all it is people that I'm seeing online.
Yeah.
So they don't post, or they don't set up a page, and they don't take appointments, and then they're not, if you're not going to take appointments, you're not going to practice, you're not going to get to that stage
100%.
of no matter what it is.
Yeah. There's so many people in the world though. There's so many people in the world. It's like, even if you had like a point percentage of customers, that's still a business. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, yeah,
there's room for anyone in any
100%,
industry.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when did you move to Dubai then?
I moved to Dubai last year, and then that was when like I was obviously operating Embody, and then I came home this year to basically shut the business down, like talk to all the girls, let them all. I didn't want to send out a message and say I'm not doing this anymore. So came home, ran a few events and stuff like that, and obviously had chats with like Amy and Chloe. They're like the girls at the time, and just like wanted everyone to understand my perspective as well, and just I never wanted to end the business on like bad terms. I wanted to end on like this is a thank you all for being on this journey with me, but this is a chapter of my life that I'm now closing, and just grateful for all the memories, and just, thanks so much. Yeah.
So what did you say? When did you go to Dubai?
Last year.
All right.
So
okay. So a year.
Yeah. A year.
And what did you like? So what made you go to Dubai then?
So the reason I went to Dubai was I feel like it's one of those places. This is really like cringe, but I don't care. It's like the leader of Dubai. He's a very like visionary person. Like he created the whole Dubai just through his mind. Like just he was like, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to create, and then that's the way it is. And I feel like for entrepreneurs and business owners, they're all very like visionary people. So it's like I wanted to live in a city that like nearly like helped people like that, like entrepreneurs and business owners. Like it's nearly like you're welcomed into that country and you're welcome to grow, and it's a place for you to navigate it and meet people and etc. Whereas I love Ireland with my whole heart. Like even being back, I just absolutely love it. Like love my family and love being here, but I feel like it's hard to stretch your mindset here sometimes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think for like the chapter of my life I'm in now, I wanted to stretch my mindset a little bit more than I ever had before. And I think it's very important who I surround myself with and the environment that I'm in to be able to do that. So
when you say like you're limited to growing your business, like in what way do you mean that? Like,
I don't mean like you're limited in growing your business over here. I just mean like I feel like your environment affects you a lot, and like I'm always really cautious of what I say, because like I had my business over here for such a long time, and like then my business got to a point where like it was like, okay, like for me to reach the next level of this journey, like I need to grow my mindset and expand, and I moved. So it's just I think leaving your hometown really opens up your mind anyway, wherever you go, whether that's like the UK, like Australia, Canada, Dubai. But for like a business scene, Dubai is just that, it's just known to be that place where
it's a lot. I feel like a lot of different business people move over there, so you're kind of more like
you're surrounded by entrepreneurs
with other people who are in business, and it's easier to get advice and get help from other people.
Yeah, 100%. You can all bounce ideas off each other if there's any problems. People have like they're as well. And I hate saying this, but like over in Dubai, people are more eager to help you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Can get that. Yeah,
like if you're having issues or you need advice, like someone's always going to be there to help you, and they've experienced it. Whereas over here, I just feel like sometimes there's a little bit of a lack of support for like entrepreneurs and business owners a little bit. Do you feel that way?
Oh yeah, there has been times where like I'll text someone and I'm like, where did you get this done? And you don't get, like, obviously I know I'd be like that, taking years to reply, but you just don't get reply at all.
Yeah.
Or like I've asked to meet someone for a coffee just to get a bit of advice on something that they're doing, and I didn't and this was months ago, and I'm like, did they not see it? Did they forget to reply, or they just they're not, where like I'd be the force to.
Yeah, you're always so helpful like with things like that, and you're always real.
Yeah, and then like even like, and I think I'm pretty sure I mentioned as well, like as in like I don't mind paying you, like, because people pay people, like I've paid for mentoring and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's not a problem at all. But I've found that sometimes with people, I feel like they're afraid that you're gonna take a slice of the pie type of situation. Yeah. Well, you're just kind of like, again, what we said earlier on, there's room for everyone.
That's the thing, is like there's no one in like that like abundance mindset, and isn't like, it's very much like scarcity mindsets, and that's really sad. It's really like, and like sad to say, but it's so true though. Like, do you know what I mean?
And you know, like you're gonna help that person, and you never know, like that same. Like that person's probably going to turn around and give you something, like give you like advice to you.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like helping each other out, and you can grow. You can
together.
both grow together.
Yeah.
You said that earlier. So like, I don't get that. I really.
When people come together, like more powerful things happen than when people go solo. Like, and I just think it's just like, even like say like you, like we're real good friends, because like we're both like in that space together, and we both know how hard it is, and we both like can bounce ideas off each other, and it's just like I just think it's harder. It's a little bit, but I've personally found it harder over here than back in Dubai, because back in Dubai, like a lot of my friends and stuff, they're all like entrepreneurs. All of my friends are entrepreneurs and business owners, and like they're just such amazing people to be around. Like, so grateful for all of them. Like, they're just always just like boom, 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 and I'm always like, oh, like, wow.
Yeah. And then, so what made you, obviously, so you said what made you pick real estate? Like, before you even got all the books and were like, right, okay, I want to study this.
So, interesting one. So there's actually a couple of things that made me choose it. So, like, first and foremost was that real estate is one of those industries where like there's no limit to the potential that you can reach. Like, your success is defined by your own work ethic. Like, as in, like, if you want to sit back and expect it all, then you're probably like not going to do great, because it's a very crazy industry. Like, it's very cutthroat and very like the failure rate of real estate in Dubai is like over 90% fail rate. So it's like really like cutthroat. But also at the same time, there's still a huge gap for people to be like, okay, if you're like innovative and if you're creative, then there's so much room for you to reach so much potential in it. And then obviously, because I came from a background of running my own business, I was a little bit afraid to like go back into a normal job. Like, I just feel like
working for someone else.
Just like I needed to be able to still be my own boss and like also like reach like my next level of potential as a person. Whereas like I feel like if I would have went to a job that didn't challenge me, I just would have felt like it was very difficult for me to grow. And like I don't want to like quit and leave a business behind that was doing really well and then not grow. Like, I want to go into another career that's going to actually make me grow to the next level of who I'm supposed to be. And that like the only industry I could think of would be real estate. And then you'll probably understand this a little bit as well, is like when I was and this is such a taboo subject as well, but like when I was running Embody, say for example, I was like, obviously not talking income, but like I was getting in income every month or whatever, right? And I had I had a consistent cash flow or whatever, but I had like no clue about like investing. I had no clue like where to start with investing, like if I was even like in a position to invest, if I could get property. And I was always like, I wish I understood how that all worked. I wish I could like take the business I'm at now and help myself get to the next level and start, investing, start getting property, start getting rental income, etc. And I never knew how to do it. And I also didn't know anyone who could also help me, or didn't know anyone who knew how to do it as well. So I was always really interested in that myself. And then I was like, okay, like I want to learn about this. So obviously that's what I'm doing now, and it's just so interesting, like so because I now know that the position I was in with Embody, like I definitely would have been able to get property, like 1 or 2 properties at least, and I didn't know that. So it's like having didn't have the knowledge, didn't have the education. Now I do, that now I know that I can. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like people are like looking at as in like, I'm not saying it's piss easy, like, but I feel like people think it's like people even get
thousands and like hundreds of thousands. You don't. Yeah,
or like even to get a mortgage, like some people think, oh, that's never going to happen, so they don't even bother looking into how to get it, or they just like they only think there's like the whole, or like there's a promo that I posted for an episode, and I was only looking at it, I think that was yesterday or the day before, and it was like someone talking about like how they can get into property by buying a house and then renting it out and then getting another one. And there's just people going on a mad one at the like at the person underneath the promo, just being like, you can't do that, and all smell of the Celtic tiger off them and all this stuff, like, because people don't see that there's a way, and so they constantly they're obviously gonna look at it and be like, this is a load of shite.
Wow.
Like, they're just, because obviously people's minds are not open to that possibility that it's out there.
This is a thing though. This is like it's such a taboo subject, and it's actually crazy, because I've had people from Ireland that just have businesses and stuff, and they've invested in Dubai. They've bought property over there, like with myself, right? And a couple of them actually, a lot of my clients actually, like, they'll let me like take pictures with them, and they'll be really proud of the fact that they've just invested into a property. Like, it's a huge deal for people it's a big goal people have to invest in property. And some people are like, yeah, really proud of it. And then others, especially from Ireland, what I found is they're like, oh, like, you know, I'm not going to post that at the moment, or just a little bit cautious of posting that. And I've always been like, no problem. That's absolutely like no problem. But I'm always cautious. I'm always curious as to why. And a lot of time it's because like they have, say, family or friends that won't support the fact that they've just invested in property, or like family and friends that, or even like maybe they're afraid that people in the business will think that they're making so much money and then they'll actually stop buying from them because they think that they're funding this crazy lavish lifestyle while they're buying all these properties. And I'm like, isn't that so sad? That it's like, I just find that so like, it's just sad that people have the mentality that if someone is in that position in their life and they've worked so hard to be there, that they're so negative about it. It's so sad.
Yeah, I seen a video on this, and it's this fella who is doing really, really well with his social media and is making a mint, but they're still living with their man, their dad, and apparently, like, I don't, this is in a video, it wasn't even like, basically because people can relate to that more, so they'll actually make more money if they live at home. So
I think I know what you're talking about as well.
I actually seen this on YouTube and I was like, yeah, that actually makes sense here. I was just like, he's loads of money, why is he not living in his own house?
Yeah.
And yeah, you probably would, yeah, because people are so bitter. They'll see someone doing well and they actually start not to like them. When it's not, why is it like that?
I always think though, when you like tell a story behind something, then people can understand it more. So like, say like, if that guy bought a house, then if he just did a YouTube video and explained like, this is where I started, this is what I had to go through on my business journey, I now have the money to buy a house, and I want you guys to know that you, like, if I can do this, you can do this too. And it kind of like takes away that whole like sense of like negativity.
But then how many people are going to see that part of that video? Because see that promo that I was on about?
Yeah.
That person started out like that, saving buttons, eating beans and toast to buy that first one. But then everyone's looking at him.
The end one.
As in like, oh, he's loaded, so that's why he has loads of property. But how did he get loaded? How did he get loads of money in the first place?
100%.
It took like a struggle and sacrifice and
it's so
living
sad.
on that beans and toast to actually get there.
Yeah.
Where everyone just assumes straight away, been like, I hate that when people say that. I actually, do you ever get feel that
it's so annoying though, because it's like I wish you had known where I started. Like, do you know what I mean? I wish you would know what I've been through to get to where I am today. Do you know what I mean?
Not even me. Like, I hate when someone turns around and says that about someone else. They'll be like, but he's in that position or she's in that position is because like she would have had help somewhere else, or like she came from money, or like she wouldn't be there or he wouldn't be there if, like, they didn't get help or whatever. Where like when they don't even know themselves.
Yeah, I know.
There is a lot of that.
It's really interesting though, because it's like, it's sad because people can't like celebrate their accomplishments then, like, because they're nearly just worried about what other people think. But it's like no one else gave you that, like you did that yourself. It's like, take a moment, take a bow. Do you know what I mean? It's such a proud moment that you have been able to do that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
and it's sad that they actually can't celebrate. They can't celebrate. Like, you'd be over the moon after investing in a property. Like, you'd be delighted with yourself, and then you have to hide it and not tell anyone, like, and keep it to yourself.
And also, you asked me there, like, why I would have chose real estate, and like, as well, I think it's really important, and it's a conversation that I think is so important for like females as well. And it's like how to generate income. Do you know what I mean? Like, say if you have a business and you want to, say you're doing really well, just hypothetically, you're doing really, really well and you're getting in X amount every month and you're great. But like, how long can you sustain that period of your life? Like, how long can you push yourself to 100% in the business? There's going to be a point in your life when you're maybe way down the line, like that you want to take a little step back from the business, or you want to maybe, like, say you want to have kids, or like life, we never know like how life turns out, like, but that you have thinking ahead of time and you've secured investments for yourself through your cash flow, that like when you are, say, whatever, 50, 60 or whatever, even if you're 30, whatever you want, that you can take a step back and you're in a position that you're getting rental income coming in, you're not stressed about money. Like, it's all about thinking like down the line, do you know what I mean? And like being able to have things to pass on to your family, like just generate like wealth, like, do you know what I mean? People just don't want to talk about it. People don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I feel like with certain businesses, you can only like there's only money coming in if you're, say if something was to happen.
If you're like boom, 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 if you're like on it.
Yeah, if you were to take a step back or you got sick, obviously, hopefully for anyone that never happens. But if you got sick or anything was to happen and you did need to take a step back, like you probably would notice that there's a decrease in income or sales and stuff like that, where we're invested in property.
Yeah.
Once it's rented out and you've money coming in. Like,
I have a guy in Dubai at the moment. He's actually an Irish guy. I won't mention his name, but Irish guy has his own business. He has an agency, and he has invested in his first property. And his goal, he's so smart, like he's thinking way down the line. He's only in his 20s, really young guy, but he wants to have at least 5 properties, right? So then, say for example, when he's like maybe 40 or 50, he wants to take a step back, that he'll have, say, 5 properties that are generating him, say, $2,500 a month in rental income. So what's that, like around 12.5K a month?
Yeah.
And he just sits back. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so he's like leveraged his cash flow now. He's leveraged like mortgages.
So he's done that. He has the 5.
He doesn't have 5 now. He's only on 1, but his plan is for the next over the next couple of years just to keep collecting the properties, like, and then inevitably when he wants to take a step back, then he can just say, perfect. He knows his rental money's coming in. He's not stressed. He knows he owns the properties. Like, but it's like that's also a conversation that I want to start to have out loud with people. Is try to like take away the taboo-ness of people who are earning money that want to look down the line to be like, okay, how do I secure my future? Like, how do I secure my future here? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe for your kids as well.
Definitely,
yeah. That's what the goal is, isn't it?
Yeah.
But so I say everyone who's listening, they're like, right, okay, so tell us, how the fuck do I invest in property in Dubai? So what do you need regarding money? What way does it work?
Okay, so just for people who, say for example, you're looking to invest in Dubai, it's always really important to know what is going, like if you're going to put your money somewhere, like what's actually happening in that city, why would you put your money there? It's no point in me like being like, yeah, invest in Dubai. It's like, I want people to know why they're investing in Dubai, like what the potential has and like how it's going to directly affect their capital. So at the moment, Dubai, like the population of Dubai is 3.8 million. And in 10 years time, it's going to be 7.8 million. So that's like a double of population. Obviously, the market is controlled by the real estate market, and most markets are controlled by supply and demand. So the more people that are there, the more demand there is for houses. When there's more demand, the prices go up, and that's how people make money. Yeah. And then like rents will go up, capital appreciation will go up.
So going back to, obviously, because I think there is a good few listeners that would be probably even younger than me. So when you say capital, explain all these terms.
Okay, so capital would be money, like just money that you have to invest. And then capital appreciation would be the money that you make on real estate over time. So say, for example, you buy a property and then say, hypothetically, 5 years later, you buy property for 1 million, 5 years later it's worth 1.4 million. So your capital appreciation on that property would be 400k.
Yeah.
Just for people to understand that.
Yeah. And so at the minute now, like if someone was to say, right, okay, they want to contact you and they're like, I want to invest in property in Dubai, but they're like, how much money do I need? Like where do they start from? Okay,
so to invest in property in Dubai, all you need is, as a non-resident, so people who don't live in Dubai and don't have residency, all you need is your passport and then the down payment. So down payments vary, but you can literally get into property with as little as €20,000, 15 to 20,000 euro as a down payment for an apartment.
Yeah, and it obviously works the same as like a mortgage. Then you're paying like a monthly fee.
Yeah, so say I do off plan. So basically the sector that I focus on is pre-construction and off plan. So this basically means that you buy properties as they're being built. So you buy property directly from the developer. So you're buying it at the lowest entry price. you're buying in. The developers have flexible payment plans. So say, for example, you want to buy, I'll give you an example of a 1 bedroom, right? So 1 bedroom, your down payment could be, say, 20,000 euro. Then the developer has a 0% interest-free payment plan that spreads across the period of construction. So the construction period is usually 3 years' time. So then you'd be paying off, they have different payment plans. It could be 50-50, it could be 60-40. But say 50-50 would mean that you pay 50% off the property over the course of construction, then 50% when the property hands over, which you can fully mortgage, and also non-UAE residents can also mortgage those properties as well. It's really, really simple to get a mortgage in the UAE as well. So 50% spread over 3 years. When you reverse engineer the payment plan backwards, it works out, I'd say, roughly around, you set aside 4,000 euro a month.
Sorry, say that again?
3,000 or 4,000 euro a month.
Yeah, that's grand, isn't it?
See, when people hear that, they say, what? And I say, yeah. And they're like, I never knew that. And this is what I'm saying is like, say when I was running Embody,
so their mortgage is 3,000 to 4,000 a month then?
So it wouldn't be a mortgage, it's actually
like a payment plan.
A payment plan.
All right, okay.
And they actually
when you think about it, like there's someone else that was probably like thinking, if they're paying a mortgage on a house here, it's probably only like grand and a half, maybe probably even more now.
But they're also paying that over the course of, say, 35 years, whereas this is 2-3 years.
Right, okay, so they're paying... I mean? Yeah. And then is there interest rates or anything? Well, during the construction, there isn't.
During construction, it's interest free. And then when the property hands over, if you have the 50% capital that you want to put down to pay off the rest of it, obviously you can put that down. That's no problem. But most people, especially investors, they will actually take a mortgage out so they can leverage their cash against the mortgage. So they'll take a mortgage out so that they don't have to take a big chunk of their money and pay that off. They'll get a tenant into the property,
and they don't pay anything then to the other 50%.
Exactly. The tenant will then pay off the mortgage over, say, for example, it could be 5 or 10 year period. The tenant's payment is going to pay off the mortgage. Also, you're going to be in a cash surplus, so you'll still make a little bit of money off it as well. Then inevitably you're going to have this whole, like, it's like a circle. You're going to have properties, the tenant's going to be paying them off. Like,
so initially you're only really paying 50% of the property and you're not paying any interest on it.
Exactly.
All right, okay.
Unless you take out a mortgage, then obviously you'll pay like 3-4% interest, which realistically your tenant's going to be paying that off.
So you're really not paying that.
So you're really,
and that's still making a bit of money out of it as well.
Exactly.
So then what's a day like if you were to... And the properties that you probably work with, like, are they all like apartments or
everything? Like apartments, townhouses, villas, duplexes.
And what do they range from? Like, what is the housing, like the prices?
Yeah. So, like, you can get a studio in euros. You can get a studio for as little as like 150,000 euros.
That is crazy. But would that be a basic one, or just like
brand new builds? Good
you
quality.
That,
then like 2 bedrooms, you can get 2 bedrooms starting at around 1 bedroom you can start getting around about 220,000 euro, and then 2 bedrooms around 260,000 euro. But yeah, it's definitely feasible. If you think about it, you're only paying off 50% of that, then you're going to leverage the rest of it. So
yeah,
it's very easily done. Like it's such an easy process. Like buying real estate in Dubai compared to like the likes of like Ireland, the UK, America, Canada is so seamless. Like there's no headaches, there's no like crazy lengthy processes, there's no like crazy paperwork, like none of that. It's just passport, down payment, payment plan, that's it. And then whoever you're working with will just take care of the rest. And then say for anyone who's listening and they're like, right, okay, I can't have I'm not too sure if you said that, I don't have the 50%, but they want to start and they maybe want to put down a little bit lower. What would be the lowest, say if it was the 1 bedroom, and it was 150, what would be the lowest down payment that they could put down? So developers take different down payments. So usually it's 20%, and then some developers take 10%. So say for example, it's 150,000 euro. and you have a 10% down payment, you're looking at €15,000.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't
For
it,
your
to
down
get you
payments.
started, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
literally.
if you were to rent that out then, what's the rent pricing over there?
So all the rents are obviously different prices compared to, like, you have like your
The
prime
areas, no.
locations, then you have like, you know, your residential locations. But like there's areas that, like, it's hard to answer that question because there's so many different, like, the rent in Dubai Marina would be very different to the rent in like JVC type of situation.
Yeah, and then I remember being over there and like you'll go further out and you'll see like random villas put out, like, and they're just not, they're in the middle of nowhere. Like, I'd say they'd be 10 times cheaper then as well. Like,
So this is fun that you say that, because this is what's actually happening in Dubai at the moment. Is that's actually where all the opportunity is at the moment, because the population's growing from 3.8 million residents to 7.8 million residents, that everything is being brought down south. They have like a new airport coming in down the bottom. It's called down south. It's called the Al Maktoum Airport. So all the property, like, say for example, you have all your prime locations like Dubai Marina, Business Bay, downtown, all that, and they're all like at the top. Everything's moving down south now. So everyone who's buying property is buying property off plan in these like locations, because as people come into the country, all these locations will be established. Like
so by the time everything is
the best time to
built-
buy into something is when it's only at the beginning. And in Dubai, there's like a saying, it's like the best time to build is when you still see sand, because it's nowhere near where it's going to be like in say 3, 4, 5 years time.
Yeah, like I remember being over there. It wasn't actually like, it's built up and it's stunning.
Yeah.
But like, it's only built up in a smaller, when I was over there, this was only a few years ago, it's like a smaller area, and then when you drive out, I think it was like is it the Atlantis, where it's like
In the Palm.
I think so, where the aquarium and the all that stuff is. It was literally just like sand everywhere until you got to there.
Yeah.
So it's like, it was mad. It was only, there's not that much, it wasn't that much built up, like.
I'd say if you went over there now, it'd be a lot more built up.
And that was only a few years ago.
Yeah, and it's rapidly, like, it's like when you go to even when I go back, something else will be built. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's so rapid. The construction and the development of Dubai is just so rapid. Like, it's insane.
Yeah, and then so there's obviously no tax on renting. When you rent it out, then you're not paying tax, are you?
So there's no income tax on your rents. There's no capital gains tax. There's no property tax.
Yeah.
There's only one tax in Dubai for property, and it's called a DLD. It's called a DLD fee, and DLD stands for Dubai Land Department. And it's a 4% once-off payment on your property, and that happens when you first buy the property. You pay that with your down payment, and that covers tax for everything.
Yeah, that sounds unreal. I'd say you're going to get a load of messages. Everyone's going to be like, can you come back?
There's so many Irish people that are buying property in Dubai at the moment, just purely because, like, there's not a lot of economic opportunity in, like, Ireland or the UK in terms of property at the moment, like even US, Canada. Whereas with the plans that Dubai have in place at the moment, with the population growth, the new airport, they have like economic agendas in place, like they have a big 2040 vision. And the thing with Dubai is, if you look over the last like 10, 15 years, it has done what it said it's going to do. Like, they have proven track record, like they've success history. So if people are looking to invest, this is an area that like people need to look at.
And when you obviously, so you've said that, like, obviously as the population grows, the demand grows, the pricing for rental properties is going to go up.
Soar, yeah.
So, like, say, give us an example of, like, I don't know if you'd have these numbers, but like an increase, say, from last year to this year, so what are we in now, 2024, from 2023 to 2024 or 2022 to now? Like, was there a big jump in rental
so
prices?
I'll give an example of capital appreciation and also rental income. So I can actually use my friend here as an example. So there's a community in Dubai, it's called Town Square. So it's a very upcoming community. It hasn't been fully established yet, but it's really family focused. Like, it has like schools, hospitals, has a huge park in the centre, like a 50,000 square metre park, but it's only being developed, so there's still lots of development going on. And one of my friends, she bought a property there last year. she bought in at 1,000 dirhams price per square foot. So that's dirhams, not euro. Imagine someone hearing 1,000 euro price per square foot. No, 1,000 dirhams price per square foot.
And what's that in euro then?
So be around 250 euro.
So say it. I don't know. I'm like.
So around 250 euro,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
Now that her same property, 2-bedroom, is going for 1,400 dirhams price per square foot, right?
Okay.
So she bought it at 1 million dirhams, and now it's worth 1.4 million dirhams. So over the course of not even around a year, she's made over 100,000 euro.
It's crazy, isn't it?
And the property isn't even built yet. And like the community has still been established, and there's still so much room to capitalize on that price per square foot from where it is now to where it will be when the whole community hands over. So that's just to give an example, like, of getting into an area quick and what's possible then. And then she's actually going to keep that for rental income, and that'll rent out around a 2-bedroom, rent out around like 31,000 euro a year, approximately.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. So
yeah.
It like, and she's that girl I'm talking about, my friend, like, she just has a fitness business, just smart with her money. Do you know what I mean? And the way she got that property was she just like set aside like £4,000 a month to be able to do all that. So it's just crazy. I feel like it's just lack of knowledge for people that just don't know how to leverage and how to utilize their money. Like,
yeah, they don't know about the different opportunities on how to.
Yeah, I'm gonna change that.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying to do with this podcast. Because I feel like everything that I know is from like meeting different people.
Yeah,
and like learning. It's just soaking up all the knowledge from everyone else. It is.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's
100%.
crazy because how else would we even know about any of that? Like,
yeah,
and then you do see a lot of people from UK and Ireland moving over there, like mostly in fitness.
Yeah.
Obviously the good weather and everything else. I feel like for other people, I feel like a lot of people are scared of Dubai as well because of all the different things that you hear. When it's actually not as bad as everyone goes
crazy.
on. People think they're gonna get locked up for sneezing.
There's so much media. What's it called? Media. Is it propaganda? Is that the word? Propaganda, when like the media controls how people perceive it.
Yeah, but is it the media though, or is it everyone? I feel like people will hear something mad, like, and then they think they just keep people add on to the stories. I think.
Yeah.
Because it's not the media, is it? That is going on like that about
the media would be quite biased towards Dubai. Yeah, 100%. Even in the UK, yeah, UK and Ireland, like and even in America and stuff, they would be quite biased because they know that people from their country are leaving to go to this place. So they want to give as much like bad publicity as possible. What I would say to people about Dubai is go over and experience it for yourself. It definitely is one of those places where like it's not for everyone. Like the same as like Ireland might not be, like Ireland's not for me. You know what I mean? It's like everyone's going to have something that attracts them about a place, and then that might not. But if you're like, you know, seeking opportunity, you want a fast-paced environment, you want like room to grow as a person, if you want to start a business, it's definitely where I would recommend going, just to give you a little bit of an elevated start, a little bit of extra sun. But you don't really know. No one really sees the sun in Dubai because you're always working all the time.
Yeah.
Literally, like you don't stop working. So people are always like, "Oh, you're out lounging around." And you're like,
"Yeah, I was expecting you to be literally a different race."
Brown. No, this is hard work, Demi.
Oh my god, yeah.
I'm so
white. People to be saying, "Oh, just sunbathe and work." I tried that before, and you can't even see your laptop.
Yeah,
you're like this looking at it.
The only thing is you can go to like some really nice locations, like nice coffee shops that have like a nice view, and it's a little bit more inspiring to do a bit of work there versus like do you know what I mean? Like working
in the office,
in your house or something like that. Yeah, basically, yeah.
But yeah, I'm like, I think we've covered everything. You're like, I'm actually mind blown. I didn't realize it was
so little.
Yeah, or that easy. I feel like because everything here, it's harder to get a mortgage. Yeah, and you're paying like. To be honest, it's more expensive for like even a 1-bedroom apartment over here.
Yeah,
it's so much more expensive,
and it's also like when you're buying, like, say, a one bedroom apartment over here, it's also about how long has that been owned for previously? Like, what's the build like on it? What's the quality like? Do you have to renovate it? Like, where
how much money do you have to put in? Yeah,
you buy it for X amount, how much money to put in? Whereas versus over here, if you buy like a, you know, 2-bedroom, you're buying a brand new build. Obviously there's different developers that do different qualities. This is why you need to work with someone to make sure you're buying the right right properties. But you're going to buy it for a good developer. The build's going to be perfect. No one would have lived in it. You'll be the first to either live or the first to rent it out. It's such a nice, that's a nice feeling, is to know that you're going to be the first person in that door. And also you're going to be the first person that makes a premium on it. So if you want to sell it in the future, like, you're the first person to be able to make that first chunk of premium, compared to you buying it off someone else who's already added 50,000 euro or 100,000 euro on top of what they already bought it for.
Yeah, and then
now
that you've said it, it's good. It's making sure that you're going with the right developer.
It's so important.
Yeah, because there's apartments now. This is Ireland, Dublin. There's apartments around my area. You probably know what ones I'm on about. That were getting built, and then I don't know if they got built wrong and everyone got kicked out.
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
And obviously then I think they got rebuilt, but then people who bought the apartments, I don't know what happened with that. I don't know what way that went, or
I think it was something got to do with the fire exit as well.
Yeah, so like, what's to say then? Obviously, especially if someone is investing in an apartment in a different country, they don't know anything, it's scary.
Yeah.
How do you know, like, this, I know for 100% my money is safe with them?
So this is huge about Dubai. So it's very transparent investing at, like, right now at this moment in time, and this is due to technology. So in terms of money, every developer has an escrow account. So when, say for example, I buy a property you're the developer, I pay into your escrow account. I don't pay into your bank account, I pay into your escrow account. So if anything happens with the development, I get my money back. Because it doesn't actually land into your account. It's an escrow account. And the developer can only take out money from the escrow account when the build reaches certain levels of construction. Like, say it reaches like 30% construction or 40% construction.
But then would you get that back in case, like, say you ran out of money and you can't build the rest of it?
No, because it's in an escrow account, so you'll get your money back.
Oh yeah, that's what
there's new laws
saying,
in place, and it's to make Dubai they want to make Dubai one of the top 3 cities in the world to work, to live, and to invest in. So for them to, especially for investors, they need to put all these measures in place so people do feel safe to put their money in Dubai, that they know their money is going to, like, generate a good ROI, it's safe, etc. There's also an app called the Dubai Rest app. Say for example, you buy a property off me, it's like a 1-bedroom, it's going to be built in the next 2 years. There's an app that actually, like, you're going to be able to see exactly how far along your project is, like where it is in construction, like if it's like, say 30%, 40%, 50%, that you'll be able to check up on everything. Then also there's like websites called Property Monitor, DLD, databases that have like all of the rental transactions, all of the sales. So you can look up the last like rent for the last 6 months in a certain area, the last rent for a year in a certain area, how much things have sold for in this certain area for the last year. So there's so much transparency. So every sale that's in Dubai is logged onto these DLD platforms, Property Monitor. So it's all transparent. The data is all there.
So anything that was sold, you can see it online. You
can see everything.
Yeah, that's like the same thing for the RTB website here as well. You can look up what any...
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. But not through an app. It's probably much fancier thinking if it's Dubai,
Yeah.
You probably see every single thing.
It's because there's so much international investors that they want to just be able to like seamlessly check things and not have to worry about them and not have to like find them. It's just like app, put it in, put the name in, there it is.
Yeah. Mad, crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what's your plans now? You're home for a week?
I'm home for 2.5 weeks.
Load of meetings.
Lots of family time, and then I have a couple of meetings with Irish business owners and entrepreneurs as well that I've just literally reached out through social media, which is so crazy. so powerful how powerful social media is, like when it comes to like business and stuff. But yeah, just educating people and giving them an introduction as to, you know, what we were talking about on this podcast. Because again, what people don't know, they can't take the opportunity in, and when they know it, they can decide whether they feel safe and confident to take the opportunity. So yeah.
And so what's your next goal, or where are you going to take the real estate? Like, where are you?
So everyone's going to think I'm a mad thing, but I'm setting up my second business next year. Quarter one of next year. I can't say too much about it because it's all coming to fruition. But as I was saying to you earlier on, like, just I feel like building a business. If you can build one business, you can build another business. Like, entrepreneurship is definitely it's in you. Do you know what I mean? It's like we just love building things, creating things. So I have I want to do something a little bit different in terms of the real estate market over there, and just bring something a little bit more like unique, and try to communicate them, like everything we were talking about in this podcast, about just communicating the message about investing and communicating it to people who will be able to take the opportunities with it on like a global scale as well, and just reach like different people, different entrepreneurs from around the world. And I'm going on my business journey round 2, so I'm very excited.
Oh, so you're gonna go traveling like somewhere else then? Yeah.
So I'll be
business journey. Sorry, you're just another. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, that sounds big dreams.
Big dreams.
But they're well achievable.
Yeah.
Well achievable, and you're already doing it. It's just basically putting a business name on it. You're basically already doing it. Like,
yeah.
So you're already there. Just growing it now.
Yeah.
And putting a pen to paper.
Yeah, definitely.
And actually opening the business. But yeah. Unreal.
To anyone like listening though, like, just don't be afraid to like change directions. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I think, and also I was like, I was so scared this year about changing directions. Like, it could have all went terribly wrong. That's always an option. But it's like, if you like set your mind to something and you just go for it, it's like you'll never know unless you do it. And it's like, I think so many people are just stuck and caught up in something that they just might have outgrown, or they want to dabble their passion into something else. It's so normal to have different passions in life and to want to explore them, and just not be afraid to change directions if that's what life is asking you to do.
Yeah, exactly.
But
thanks so much for coming on, Emma. Sorry, that was my phone ringing.
Thanks so much for having me. It's so weird. And like, this conversation was so different to our conversation last year.
Yeah, crazy. 100%. But yeah, so if anyone is looking to reach out and invest in property in Dubai, where can they find you?
They can find me on Instagram. It's easiest to find me on Instagram, pop me a message, and I can meet up with them or hop on a Zoom call with them and explain everything.
So what's your Instagram handle?
It's Emma_Louise.
Yeah. Thanks so much for coming on again, Emma.
Thanks so much for having me.